In Europe and the UK, energy demand from data centers is expected to increase by over 150% by 2035, largely driven by rising cloud computing and AI workloads. But in traditional data center markets, such as Slough in the UK and Dublin in Ireland, grid congestion is already severe. Connection capacity is limited and in some cases constrained by policy. For example, in Ireland, data centers are effectively capped at 20% of total grid connection capacity. According to a report by Ember, grid connections can take up to 13 years to secure. With demand for data centers so high, developers are exploring ways to alleviate these constraints and reduce the impact of such long connection queues. This includes integrating flexible and on-site energy assets, such as renewables, storage, and generators, directly into data center projects. These can be new build sites, but also include adding data centers as a load to an existing renewable or flexible site to maximize the grid connection. How can existing and planned data center sites implement this flexibility to accommodate increasing load, given their constrained grid connections? Using Gridcog, we've modeled a project exploring the impact of this flexibility on load, capacity, and revenue streams. The project models a data center site in Slough in the UK, the area with the largest concentration of data centers in Europe. Our first scenario is a fully grid-connected data center site with a sufficient grid connection. In practice, this is a scenario that would have a long wait to secure its grid connection. We will then compare this to an additional scenario, where we will test a grid-constrained setup requiring renewables and fuel-powered generators. In the first scenario, in the physical model, the data center load shape has been added. The commercial model then has a day-ahead pass-through supply contract with network tariffs, non-commodity costs, and supply margin added. Additionally, in the site meter, the import limit has been set to 110 megawatts. In our second scenario, the grid-constrained site, the import limit has been reduced to 50 megawatts. To address what would now be unserved load from the data center, 50 megawatts of fuel-powered generators, as well as solar, wind, and battery storage, have been added to the site. The sizing for the renewable assets was done using Gridcog's Autosizing feature, which uses mathematical optimization to find the asset sizes which will deliver the highest NPV or IRR. CapEx and OpEx costs have also been added for our new energy assets. After allocating these expenses to the data center in the commercial model, the next step is to run the simulation. Once the simulation has finished, we can explore how the assets are operating physically and commercially in the Gridcog results. There are many dashboards that allow you to dive into the details. The inter-asset flows dashboard is particularly interesting in this project. Through a Sankey diagram, it illustrates the flow of energy between assets and load, making it easy to see how newly introduced flexible resources contribute to system performance. In the second scenario, we can see that the data center's demand is now being met by on-site generation. This underlines the strategic value of these additional flexible assets in reshaping the supply mix and grid dependency. Finally, Gridcog is big on transparency, which is why all of the simulation results can be downloaded for more detailed analysis. Clients can download settlement period level data to scrutinize the precise behavior of their assets. Or, if they want to dig deep into the financials of the project and conduct further financial modeling, the cash flows and investment case reports provide all of the relevant detail. If you'd like to learn more about how to model data centers facing grid connection constraints in Gridcog, whether in the context of simpler projects like the one shown here, or for more complex sites, reach out to the Gridcog industry team. Thanks for watching.